for the delay. Hi, I'm Dawn Slade, and welcome to Going Nuts About Health. And today I wanted to just share some things with you about Nuts About Health and the program and services that we provide to help people on their journey to optimum health. That's really what we're trying to do. Nuts About Health is a health education program, and what we want to do is provide people with information, the tools, and the strategies to help them on their journey to optimum health. And that includes spiritual health, physical health, social and emotional health, cultural health, financial health. And we have programs that are targeted to three demographics in order to help them on their journey. Our three demographics are the youth, starting at primarily 5 to like 18. Then we have the adults and the young adults, and we have the seniors. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the programs that we have for our youth. Um, my mother, who co-founded Nuts About Health with me, was the education coordinator for New Haven Child Development for almost 30 years. Young children were her heart. And she always wanted to provide them with high interest activities to engage them in learning. And as we see what our children are going through today and how education is not grabbing them because of many issues, we want to provide some programming that's going to make them excited about learning and make them excited about health and wellness, because we're in a situation now where childhood obesity is an epidemic, adult obesity is an epidemic. People are just pretty much sick because we live in a system where the food is not really food. It's pretty much ultra processed fake food, and people are eating this not knowing that this food is not helping them. And so I feel that young children need to get consistent, repetitive, early nutrition education so that they can understand how their body works and what food means to their body. Food, what you eat does matter. And food is medicine. Food is supposed to nourish, it's supposed to fuel, and it's supposed to heal our bodies. But the things that they have on the market, most of it is made in a factory. And it's made in a factory with chemicals to make you addictive, to make you want to continue to eat things that are not giving your body any nutrition. So our children need to understand their bodies, and they need to understand how important the role that food plays in good health. I know when I was growing up, one of the things that they drilled us with was our multiplication tables. And if you ask anyone in my generation, we know those multiplication tables because what happened? They drilled them into us every single day. We were timed. It was repetitive, repetitive, repetitive. So if somebody asked me what 6 times 6 is, I could tell 36. If I asked you what's 4 times 6, we can tell you 24. So I think the same thing has to be done with this nutrition, because we are in a place where the billion-dollar food industry is putting things on the market that are food-like, but they're not. And they're disrupting our system. The body has 11 systems, and the brain is the center. That's the nervous system. That's the boss. But it's like a team. Our body is a team. We have 11 systems that have to work in concert with each other. But if we don't get the proper nutrition, if we don't get the vitamins and the minerals and the nutrients that we need, what happens is we get sick. And so we're seeing children getting sicker earlier and earlier. We're seeing children, getting adult type diseases at a younger age, and it's because of the food. So what we do with Nuts About Health, we really focus on the kids because we want to slay childhood obesity. I was an obese child. No, I wasn't obese because I wasn't obese. I was overweight. There's a difference. But I was overweight. My mother was overweight, And that's only because we just didn't know. There was no information about what to eat and how to eat and when to eat it. But when I was growing up, most of the people ate at home. People cooked, and most people knew what they were eating. It wasn't until the 70s and the 80s, especially the 90s, when they put genetically modified foods on the market. They allowed genetically modified foods to become part of the farming system. And so those genetically modified foods and those fake foods like high fructose corn syrup and hydrogenated oil, these were all man-made items that were put in our food. And so if you trace it back, if you just do your own study, go back and look at people in the 60s and the 70s. Start looking and you start to see from the 70s, it creeps up, it goes up, it goes up, it goes up. Until now we're here and it's an epidemic. It's because of those ultra processed foods. So what I want to do is teach young people that the body is a miracle, it's a magnificent machine, and that we have to eat the foods that's going to help us be healthy and lean. So one of the programs that I do at Nuts About Health, I'm the salad lady. And the salad lady, and I do a program with a young man, and his name is Gregory Smith, and he's the salad. I mean, he's not the salad lady. I'm the salad lady. He's the garden whisperer. And we really wanted to teach young people about how important it is to eat fresh fruits and vegetables. So I would tell the young kids, your body is a miracle, magnificent machine. Eating a salad every day is going to keep you healthy and lean. And then the garden whisperer was show the children how to grow their own food. And so that's we had a gardening program a couple of years ago, and that's one of the programs that we do to help them. And the kids love it. They love being able to grow food, and they would always eat the food that they grew. And our experience was, I would say, okay, we're going to make a water of salad. And they were like, what's that? And so I told them it was, what a water of salad was, what was in it. I don't like that. I don't want it. But when we made the salad, they actually liked it. So it's always about exposure. Sometimes we'll say we don't like something. That's because we never tried it. So I try to make different salads with them. We made a fruit salad. We made a water of salad. We did a green salad. We did all kinds of salads. And at first the kids were like, no, I don't want that. No. But as my mother taught me, you have to just keep putting the food on the table for them. Eventually they will try it and they will like it. But because we live in a society where fast food and junk food is so prevalent, and they spend billions and billions and billions of dollars targeting us and our children, we are really fighting a war that we didn't even know that we were in. And so what is happening, our kids are not getting the proper nutrition that they need. That coupled with the fact that they're not getting the proper rest. Because when I was growing up, I know I'm dating my age, I'm dating myself, I'm 65. Am I 65? Yeah, 65. Television went off. Television went off. No one went back into the kitchen after dinner. We went and watched our little, maybe 1 hour worth of television. At my house, we had weeks. So it was 4 of us, and each one of us got a week to watch what we wanted on TV, and we couldn't argue about it. So if it's my week, I got to watch the courtships of Eddie's father. My sister, it was her week. She loved that. That space program, Outer Space. I don't think that was it was, but it was. She loved that with the robot. She's a science person, so she loved that stuff. But TV was entertainment for a very small amount of our time, because we went to school, and when we came home from school, we took off our school clothes and we went outside and we played until the street lights came on. I didn't, because I was the family cook. And so I was in the house cooking or eating something. But mostly all the kids in the neighborhood were outside playing kickball, jump rope, double dutch, 1, 2, 3 red light. They were outside playing. And so then they came in the house for dinner. And you better be in the house before the street lights came on. And when you came in the house for dinner, you ate dinner, and then you did a little TV, and then you went to bed. But today, because of the social media and the video games, and all the kids have phones, these kids are sleep deprived. And if they're sleep deprived, their body can't heal. Their body can't do the things that it needs to do. So in addition to being poorly, nutritionally not given the right foods, in addition to that sleep deprivation, these kids have some issues. And so we want to teach them and get them to have some skin in the game about their bodies. Because this is God, when God made this, oh my goodness, you're talking about a masterpiece. That's why he stepped back and said, it is good. Because when you think about what we have in our body, we have 11 systems that work together and they do everything the brain tells us to do. The brain is like, hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to do that. Oh, and they all work in concert. But if we don't give our bodies the right food, if we don't give our bodies the right rest, if we don't give our bodies the right thinking, then we have what we see the dis-ease that we have, and we are currently in the United States. We have a lot of dis-ease because all they are advertising when you look at television is ask your doctor about some drug. They don't tell you to ask your doctor about some avocados or some grapes or some tomatoes because we live. I saw this documentary. It was eat How Not to Die, and one of the doctors in the documentary said, you know, we live in a system where the food industry does not care about health, and the health industry does not care about food. And so we have to be informed because when we go to the supermarket, we think everything in that supermarket is safe. And you know what? We should be able to think that. You know, we should be able to go to the supermarket and say, okay, that's on the shelf, that's good. Why do we have to be a private eye? We have to be a private eye because if we're not a private eye, we're eating things that came from a factory that our body is struggling with. Struggling with. The body doesn't know what it is, it has no idea what to do. So I want to give children the opportunity to learn at a very young age about the 11 body systems and how food affects their bodies. And so those are some of the programs that we have. And one of the programs I have, I did it, as I said, I had the Salad Lady and the Garden Whisperer. We had a puppet show, but I have a new set of puppets now. They're called Peppy Puppets. And what it's called is Eating the Rainbow with Peppy Puppets. And I'm going to show you some of my little puppets. And this is an activity that I do with kids. And I really like, you know, the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are the ages that they soak things up. After 9, 10, they become them tweens and they're not interested that much. But the 8-year-olds, if you can get them to understand about the health and food and all that good stuff, you got something going on. So I'm going to show you some of my little Peppy puppets. And what I do with this activity is we have the kids make, the idea is to make the puppets. These are sock puppets. So here we go. Hi, how are you? I'm green. So what do you think I am? Celery. And I'm blue. What do you think I am? Blueberry. And so we talk about how the food affects our body, and we have a puppet show. And so that's what we do. And you know what? You could call me Carol, celery, and you could call me Bobby, blueberry. And that's what we do with the puppets. So we make these puppets, and they're very easy to make. They're sock puppets, and I make them, and you know, I'm having the kids do with the activity. You got your little hair, you know, and the puppets represent fruits and vegetables that the body needs for good health. And I have them make the puppets, and then we have a puppet show, and then we test what we learn. The thing about it is, this is a standalone activity. I usually do it in 3 to 4 sessions. But if it's not reinforced after that, what's going to happen? The kids are going to forget it. So I really want to really do this all over the city. I want to do this in all the school systems. I want to do it all the time because I want the kids to know that your body is very special and what you eat does matter. And what the kids are eating, because the advertisements are just having these kids eat things that are just not good. These kids like these Takis and the things that are red and blue and yellow. It's not good for them. It's disrupting their endocrine system. So the 11 body systems include, I don't know them by heart, but I'm gonna start. We have the reproduction system. We have the cardiovascular system. We have the immune system, the nervous system, the digestive system, the endocrine system. The endocrine system is the system that promotes all the hormones. So we have a lot of hormones in our body. That hormones help us do things. And so we all are familiar with the sex hormones, which is estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Those are the sex hormones, but there are other hormones like insulin and cortisol. And the endocrine system is what is the manager of those hormones. And those hormones are affected by ill health. And ill health, when your cells, the cells, when we went to science, we had to break the cell down, and biology, we didn't want to do it. But the cells are very important, because what happens is when the cells don't get the things that the cells need, then the cell can't do its job. And one of the things that the cells need to be healthy is they need sugar. But when they can't get the sugar into the cell, that's when you have sugar in your blood. And so that causes some of the dis-ease that we have, pre-diabetic diabetes and things like that. So we have the endocrine system. We have, what else did I miss? I said a cardiovascular system. There's 11 of them. I have to look at the paper. But anyway, there are 11 systems, and that is what I teach the kids, those 11 systems, and then we find out the fruits and vegetables that support those 11 systems. So that's one of the programs that we do. The other program that we had about 5 years ago, I was thinking about how can I make a more global impact on teaching young children about health and wellness, because I was doing workshops, and as I said, the standalone workshops are very good. The kids love it when I'm there, but I know that as soon as I leave, they're going to forget it, and it's kind of local. So I wanted to do something so more global, more national, and I was sitting at the dining room table with my brother one day, and he said, "You know what? We should do a movie, an animated movie." And I said, "What? Okay." Now, trust me, I never wanted to do an animated movie. I never wanted to be in movies. I never wanted doing that. Never wanted doing that. I wanted to be a broadcaster. That's what I always wanted to be. It was a broadcaster. I never wanted to do movies. But when my brother said that, I said, okay. And so what we did, and then God, because we received what he gave us, he put some of the most fascinating young people in our path. And we've been working on this movie called Nutsville the Movie. Nutsville the Movie is a movie that is an exciting adventure of a young nut and his friends, and they are on their journey to health and wellness. And they've heard this story about this place called Nutsville. Nutsville is a utopia. In Nutsville, nobody is overweight, nobody is sick. They garden, they eat family dinners together. And so the parents have been telling them about the legend of this utopia place, Nutsville. So they're trying to find Nutsville, and they're on a journey to Nutsville. But while they're going to Nutsville on this journey and they're discovering who they are, they have to fight the obesity monster and his bad health eating agents. You know who those bad health eating agents are? Want me to tell you? Mr. Fry and Little Chip. And so they're fighting these bad health eating habits, and they're learning along the way, and they learn about sugar and being refined, and they there's a place called Inflammation Towers. It's a high rise building, and everybody wants to live there, and all the foods that live in Inflammation Tower cause inflammation: hot dogs, soda. So you see the people walking around. So that's a movie that we're working on. We've been working on it, and I have a very dynamic young team of brilliant film people that are helping me with that. And that's what we're working on for the youth. So, and what we want Nutsville to be, I want Nutsville to be their next favorite movie. We all know with children, if we had family movie night, my nephew and my goddaughter, where they would every Friday we would come over, and we would put a picnic, put the blanket down on the floor in the TV room and get our little snacks, and they had their favorite movie. And guess what? With that favorite movie, they knew all the lines. They wanted to see it over and over and over, and they would sing the songs. So that is the goal of Nutsville. Nutsville has some really provocative characters. some wonderful singing, some dancing, and the goal is for it to become their favorite movie where they want to see it over and over and over. And they know that, carrots are good for your eyes and it's the antioxidant. And they'll be singing songs about broccoli and cruciferous vegetables. That's the goal of Nutsville, the movie. And it's an animated movie. And it's going to be a full feature movie. So that's another program that, I do for kids that I really want them to learn early. And then when they learn early, they teach their parents. We have to teach the parents as well. But we all know in my generation, when we were growing up, prior to the seatbelts, there was no seatbelts in the car. There was no seatbelts in the car. And they had a big campaign that was geared to who? The children. And the big campaign told the children to tell their parents to do what? Buckle up. And what did the children do? What did the children's? That's not correct English. What did the children do? The children told their parents to buckle up. So if we get the attention of the children, we engage them, then they're going to start to say, "Mommy, I don't want McDonald's French fries. That's poison." Or "Mommy, I want some blueberries." And so it's all about, again, consistent, repetitive nutrition education. Because I didn't know, nobody told me. So I just was eating all kinds of junk food. I was just eating junk food all the time. And then I wasn't moving my body either. So guess what? I became overweight. I had bad habits and I had bad eating habits and I wasn't moving my body. And so I was struggling. It's a struggle that I've had all my life. And so I was an overweight child, I became an overweight teenager. I lost weight, then I gained it back. And, it's a journey. And I'm still on the journey, but I've learned so much about what needs to be done. And one of the things I didn't really understand is how important we need to have the Lord in order to do this. Because a lot of times we beat ourselves up because we say, well, we don't have any power. We can't do this. We're greedy. We're this, we're that. It really is more than that. It's more than that because we wrestling against principalities and evil people in high places. And we're talking about the food industry where they are sitting down and they're going into a meeting to say, okay, we want these people to be addicted to this stuff. So what are we going to do? So you can't do it by yourself. I mean, there's a scripture somewhere that said, not by your might, but God, the Holy Spirit has to help us. And so that's what I'm learning. I'm learning that I can't do this by myself and I have to ask God to help me. And so, at Nuts About Health, we are going for the holistic approach to health because we are a spirit, we have a soul, and we live in a body. And I think it's 2 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 23 and 24 that talks about our body should be blameless. We need to nurture each component, that spirit, that soul, and that body. So what is happening is the body thinks it's in control and wants us to eat all this stuff. And what happens is we let food become an idol. And God doesn't want, food is supposed to nourish us. That doesn't mean we're not supposed to enjoy it because God put us here for to enjoy it. But when we get addicted to it, just like anything else, it's not honoring God. So that's what I've learned. So, I got scriptures. I got a bunch of scriptures that I'm going to talk about today. One of the scriptures that I learned that really shocked me, I didn't know it. It was a scripture in Proverbs that says, just put a knife to your throat if you're given to gluttony. I was like, what? What does that mean? Just put a knife to your throat if you're given to gluttony? Is that serious? Yes. That's serious. And as a Christian, there's scriptures that will help us overcome this whole thing of gluttony. And when we overeat, and we eat just because my girlfriend's father said you eat just because you see it, that's some problem. So we have to ask God to help us. So, one of the scriptures that I say all the time, because I really want to be trim and I really want to be healthy because I'm the head of a health organization. And I want people to know that if you make the right changes and you do it with the right motive and you ask God for help, he'll give it to you. So The one that I say all the time, I meditate on that scripture, is Romans chapter 12, verse 1 through 3. It says, my brethren, um, what does it say? I can't, it escapes me right now, but make your body a living sacrifice and be not conformed to the patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So, renewing our mind when it comes to food is important. And we are being bombarded every day with advertisement that is making us go and buy something that we don't even need. And it's not full of good nutrients. It's full of garbage because they want to make a lot of it so that, they make a lot of money. They don't care about us. So we have to care about ourselves. So with the kids. So those are the programs for the kids. So that segues into the programs for the adults for me. So about 5 years ago, I started um, an online community to help me on my journey because I was like, God, why can't I do this? I lose the weight and then I gain it back. And why I need, and then, I went to Weight Watchers, I did the fat metabolism. I mean, you name it, whatever eating plan was out there, I did it. And I just was like, I want to be healthy. I want to be able to see my great nieces and nephews. I want to be able to play with them. I want to just, do some things. I want to live a long, satisfied life. That's what it says in Psalms 91, a long, satisfied life. That means that, you've done everything that you want to do. You made your assignment, you know your purpose, and you're doing your assignment. And so I got this idea to come up with this online community, and it's called A Fat Girl's Journey. And because it's my journey, I'm on the journey, and so I've been doing it. It'll be 5 years in December. I was hoping by this point I would be there, but I'm not there yet. But I haven't given up. So I'm gonna. This is the theme song for A Fat Girl's Journey. I'm gonna let you hear it, and then I'm gonna talk to you more about what A Fat Girl's Journey is.
To trim and fit. So the magic number on the scale I hit. Tracking my food and working out twice a day were habits that made my fat go away. In 1997, my fat went bye-bye. Over the years, it came back on my thighs. Why? Too many cakes, cookies, and pies. Now the number on the scale I hide. I need help, y'all. Come go with me on my health and wellness fitness journey.
So that's it. That's a fat girl's journey, and it's an online community, and I host it every Saturday morning from 9:30 to 11, and it just really is helping us on our journey. Whether it's yours is health and wellness, it was health and health and wellness encompass all of health. Okay, and because we're a spirit, we have a soul, and we live in a body. So we share scriptures. We talk about what the body needs. We talk about all kinds of things like that. And it's really for me because I need support. I need support in order to do this. I need support. So I realized that there was something desperately wrong when I could not lose weight. When I would go to the gym with my sisters or my friends, and they were like, Dawn, you're working out so hard. Something's wrong. My sister Ann, who I interviewed a couple of weeks ago, she said, it's something wrong. It's something wrong. The way you work out, and it's something wrong. And what I've learned on this journey that it is something wrong. They said, oh, you have a slow metabolism. You were born with a slow metabolism. Nah, I created a slow metabolism. You want to know how? Because I was eating all the time. I was always eating. You're only supposed to eat. We're supposed to eat on a schedule. We're supposed to eat when we're hungry. We're supposed to eat to fuel our body. But I was eating all the time. And I was eating cakes, cookies, pies, making them, and I was always eating. And then because I was always eating and then I wasn't moving my body, guess what? I was overweight. And so then I went on my first diet in the 5th grade. And then I went on another diet in the 7th grade. And then I went on another diet in the 9th grade. And then in college, I lost weight. When I got involved with WYBC, I went from being food focused to YBC focused. I lost weight without even trying. I ate one meal a day. I would go to Claire's every day, get me a salad with a scoop of tuna on it, and then go back to the radio station. I was in love with that radio station. But then after I left the radio station, I gained the weight back. And then in 1997, my fat went bye-bye. How did that happen? Because I went to California and I worked out twice a day. and I ate a 1,200 calorie diet. Unsustainable. That was the worst thing ever because as soon as I stopped working out twice a day, and as soon as I ate 1,500 calories, guess what? The weight came back on. And there was a study done many years ago. The next time I'll tell you about it, but it showed that when you restrict your calories like that your body is holding on. As soon as you just look at an extra calorie, it's coming back and it's coming back with a vengeance. So my body, over the years, my metabolism has been broken. So now I have to fix it. Now, how am I going to fix my metabolism? These are the things that I'm learning that I'm sharing with people. I fix my metabolism by not eating all the time, going periods without eating. People are like, oh no, the new term is intermittent fasting, but it really is old school eating. Because again, when we were growing up, we ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Nobody ate in between meals. And you certainly didn't tell your mother you didn't like something and she made you something different. That didn't happen. And when she went to the supermarket for the menu of the week, you didn't go into the refrigerator and get at all hours of the night and get the food. And we did things in proper order. Now we eat all the time. We eat at the television. We eat at the computer. We eat in the car. We eat walking down the street. We eat in the bed. We eat all the time in any place. And there's always food at the disposal. Food used to be where it was all over the place. You go into the gas station, you go into the pharmacy, there's always food, always food, always food. So there's always something there for us to eat. And so we have to change because we have a circadian rhythm where we're supposed to eat and then we're supposed to not eat so that our body can heal and our body can do what it's supposed to do to make us healthy. And the two times that the body does that is when we are not eating, when we're going periods without eating, and when we're sleeping. So we're in a society where we're always eating, and guess what? We're not sleeping. And that is affecting our hormones, and our hormones is affecting our health. So these are the things that we talk about on the Fat Girl's Journey. And this is what I learned. So I realized that my metabolism was broken and I had to fix it. So how did I fix it? I started going periods without eating so that my body can heal and and I can see the results. So it's called intermittent fasting. I don't eat, I eat my first meal at 12 and I eat my last meal at 6. That's what I eat. And so from 6 to 12, I do what it's called an 18-6 eating pattern. And when I started doing that, I started to see my clothes get, looser. And you're not going to see the weight all of a sudden because my body is holding on to extra fat in 3 different forms. One, extra sugar. You eat too much sugar. The body does not really need to get added sugar. The body can make sugar itself. And so when we eat too much sugar, then our body is like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. You know what? I'm going to put it over there on her arm as fat. So we have too much sugar. Then the hormones in the food. The food has changed drastically over the last 70 years. A little chicken, anybody that grew up on a farm, they know how long it took a chicken to grow. But now it's accelerated because you got to keep up with the demand for the chicken pie over here, the chicken cake over here, the chicken, all over the place. Those chickens are full of hormones. If you eat, you are what you eat. So you're eating hormones. And if you notice that a lot of men are having man boobs, men have lots of protruding bellies. It's not just beer, because there's some men that are not even drinking beer. That's hormones, fake hormones that are primarily estrogen, because men only get a little bit of estrogen that goes in their brain. But when you eat that food, your body doesn't know what to do with it. So you got hormones that have not been broken down. That's the reason why you're overweight. And then the toxins. We live in the most toxic world ever. Ever. There's toxins in the air. There's toxins in our food, our cleaning supplies, our personal care products, the plastic when we heat our food up in the microwave, everywhere. So what the body does, it holds on to the toxins as fat. So for all of us who are overweight, we have toxins, we have unbroken down hormones, and we got too much sugar. And the way that I am able to manage that is through the intermittent fasting. So I eat at 12 and I stop eating at 6. And then, in between that time, the body is going to say, okay, let's get rid of this. And when you go periods without eating, your body is on a search for energy. Because fat, this is all this fat on me, it's just energy. It's just energy. So I want my body to go and burn that energy up. And the only way it's going to do that is if I don't give it any food. So at 6 o'clock, I shut it down. So what I do, I go to my room. They say, "You're going to bed already?" No, I'm not going to bed already, but I'm getting out the general area because I don't want to eat anything else. Oh, you can't live your life like that? Yes, I can, because it's important to me. I want to do so. I'll go to my room and I'll read or I'll listen to a book on tape. And I usually go to bed at 9 because I'm an early bird. My name is Dawn. I wake up early, 5 o'clock. But that's what I have. It's important to me. It's important to me. And God said He will give me the desires of my heart. And my heart is, I want to be healthy. I don't want to be overweight. And then, our body is not designed for this. And if you look at America, America is the fattest country in the Western world because we eat all the time. And what we're eating is ultra processed poison food. And you best believe the people that make that, the 1 to 2% of the people, they're not eating that stuff. They're just marketing it to us, and we have to be more informed. So that's what we do on the Fat Girls Journey. So that is about health and wellness and to support me. So my goal is my birthday, um, November 29th. My goal is I'm on operation. It's called Operation T Triple F. You want to know what that means? Dawn, what does T Triple F mean? Operation Trim Fit Firm and Fabulous. That's it. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm going to do. And so the Fat Girls Journey is I have people helping me. As I said, it started in December. It will be 5 years, and my goal is I am going to be there. But I learned so much on along the road. And what I did learn is that we got to ditch that sugar. We got to ditch those refined flours. We got to eat more whole foods. We got to eat more plant-based foods, and we got to stop eating all the time because we eat all the time and the body is not designed to do that. So, one of the things that I also do is I like to eat a salad all the time. And Americans don't eat enough fresh fruits and vegetables. Just don't. Most people say, do you know any friends that, people that say, I don't like vegetables? You know people that say, I don't ever eat vegetables. Do you know people like that? There are people like that that never eat fruit and vegetables. So you're robbing your body of key nutrients that it needs, the antioxidants, the the polyphenols, the B vitamins, that all the vitamins and the nutrients, it comes from the food that comes from the ground. And if we don't eat clean food, we want to eat food, a whole food plant-based diet is food that you can recognize that came out of the ground or came off a tree. And we don't do that. So a salad is a great way to get the fresh fruits and vegetables in your diet. So I'm the salad lady, and I teach it to the kids, and I do my little rap with them, and I said, your body is a miracle, magnificent machine. Eating a salad every day is going to keep you healthy and lean. And so, because I like to eat salad, and I want to eat a salad that has cruciferous vegetables in it, and those are the vegetables that have the antioxidants in it. It's not a salad with iceberg lettuce. Really, although we grew up with iceberg lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumbers and French dressing, that really is not a salad that's going to give you the nutrients that you need. You need dark green leafy vegetables like kale or collards. You can make a salad with collard greens. You just chop the collards up very finely. You want to, mustard greens, kale, bok choy, broccoli. Those are cruciferous vegetables. So you want to make a salad that has all those things in it. And so I make my salad, my cruciferous salad, and I was looking for a salad dressing that was good because most of the salad dressing on the market is made with bad oils. What are the bad oils? The oils that cause omega-6, they're high in omega-6 and they cause inflammation in the body. And so those oils have been promoted over since like the 70s. Canola oil, soybean oil is out of this world because in America, they do monocropping, and the farmers in America, you know what they grow? soybeans, corn, and wheat. They don't even rotate most of them are not rotating the land to grow food for us to eat. So soybean oil is really bad. It causes inflammation. Canola oil, which was made in Canada, it just was just Canada. I'll tell you about that another time. That's not good for you. They promoted it in the 70s and everybody was switching and getting canola oil. No, that's not. It causes inflammation. Um, Sunflower oil, um, um, those are seeds oils. So the oils that we really should be eating and should be in our pantry, those oils are a very good extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, and even old fashioned butter. But it has to be grass fed because if you get the regular butter on the market, they've given those cows hormones, and those hormones, when you eat, you are what you eat. So anyway, I was looking for a salad dressing that didn't have any bad oil in it. And so I kind of came up with my own salad dressing, and I have it right here. I want to show it to you. It's called Dawn's Superb Salad Dressing. Tastes so good, make you want to eat a salad every day. And what happened was I made the salad dressing for myself. And my brother, Reggie, said, "You know what? That tastes so good. You should sell it." And I said, "You know what? Maybe I will." So that's my salad dressing. It's called Dawn So Superb Salad Dressing. It's all organic. It has no genetically modified ingredients in it. It has good oil. It's made with avocado oil. It's made with citrus juices. It's made with whole foods that are really good for you. And it really does taste good. It tastes so good. You do want to eat a salad every day. Because if you eat a salad every day, you're going to get your recommended number of fruits and vegetables. You get a green salad, and then you put your go withs on it. What's your go withs? You put your carrots, your cucumbers, your tomatoes. You put your some seeds, some good seeds on there because seeds are very good. Seeds are good in omega fatty acids. So you can put sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts. You can put seeds on it, and you can put some fruit in there. You can put some apples, some berries. So now you have a whole smorgasbord of something that has all the everything you need, fresh fruits and vegetables. So you can eat a salad every day and you can get all you need. So that's what I do with Dawn's So Superb Salad Dressing. So we use this in our workshops called Salad Anyone. And I go and I help people, teach them how to eat different kinds of salads. And we use the salad dressing and we just talk about health and wellness and things like that. So those are some of the programs that we have for adults. We have a Fat Girl's Journey, and we do Salad Anyone. We do, I sell the salad dressing, and we also have BT and Low and Other Love Stories. Now that BT and Low and Other Love Stories, I'm gonna tell you about that. It is a project dear to our heart because we three women decided that we wanted to see us in a positive light in the media. And so we got together one summer, as we always did, at one of the author's house. And we said, why don't we write a book? And it took us a long time to do it because one of the authors lived in San Diego. The other one, two of us were here in Connecticut, but none of us wanted to be authors. None of us said, oh, I just have a heart burning desire to be an author. That wasn't the case. But we wanted to see us in a more positive manner because we knew who we were and what we were seeing in the media was not a representation of who we were. So we decided to write this book. It's called BT and Low and Other Love Stories. And one of the authors has gone to be with the Lord, Alita Mack, also known as Alita Staten. So it's very, a bittersweet kind of situation. Because Alita was an actress, and we had a lot of high hopes, but she's with us in spirit. But we're finally going to be doing some promotion for this wonderful book. I'm going to show you the book. And this is the book, BT and Low and Other Love Stories. And it's written by Alita Mack, Dawn Slade, and Amanda Hayes. And it's a book that you are going to see yourself in the book. It's a labor of love. It took a minute for us to get the book done. And then we edited, and because we had to merge three writing styles. And so I am going to let you hear a clip from BT and Low right now.
Chapter
And
26, 4th of July
I-
in Love. BT led Lo out of her apartment in a blindfold. Where are we going? She asked. She tripped over the cobblestones that lined the path to her front door. He caught her before she fell. I told you not to wear high heels. BT laughed. I always wear high heels. I love high heels. Suit yourself. He laughed again. He led her to his car and gently sat her in the front passenger seat. When he leaned over to buckle her in, he hesitated long enough to smell her hair. It stirred something in him, an affection and love he could not describe, and that he had missed so desperately when he was in Scotland. I demand to know where we are going. And BT, you have got to stop sniffing me all the time. I can't help myself. You always smell so good. Lo shook her head from side to side. Seriously, where are we going? I forgot how nosy you are. Whoa! The bumpy road jostled Lo up and down. It's very unsettling to be riding around without being able to see where you're going, she said. BT turned on the radio and started humming. Lo joined in as they held hands and sang along with the love songs playing on the radio until the car stopped. He led her out of the car, and she heard car doors closing and a creaky front door opening. Now can I take this off? She asked. Almost there. He led her a little further, then removed the blindfold.
So that's BT and Low. And the book was really just supposed to be about them, BT and Low, a young couple that find each other and they're sailing along to marriage, and there's some things that happen that could stop that. But when we were writing the book, their parents' love story just jumped in the story and would not leave. And so we toyed with the idea of taking the love stories out of the parents. But when we did that, the book just did not feel, it just felt so hollow. So BT and Low is a celebration of love. It's young love, seasoned love. It's all about love. It's a celebration of us. It's a celebration of who we are. It's a celebration of God, the love of family, the love of sisterhood, the love of community. And it's a book that we feel is so needed because a lot of the stuff that is being promoted is just not positive, if for lack of a better word. And the Bible tells us in Philippians 4:8 that we should meditate on things that are lovely and right and true and positive. And what we're you choosing for our entertainment is things that are damaging our spirits. And so we decided we were not going to complain about it. We decided that we were going to write a book. And so we pulled out. We were at Amanda Hayes's house in West Haven. We pulled out a whiteboard, and then we just started um, doing the character sketches. And it started with BT, and it started with Lo. Lo is a 25-year-old actress. BT is a lawyer. And then we just, did the family and the setting and all that stuff. And that's how we came with BT and Lo and Other Love Stories. So we would write the book on a part-time basis because Amanda Hayes is an attorney and Alita was an actress, and I'm a business person. So we, as I said initially, it wasn't our goal to be authors, and we wrote this book, and it was a labor of love, and it's a really good book. It's a feel good book. It makes you feel really good. You're gonna see yourself in it. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. You're gonna see people you know. I'm gonna give you an example. One of my friends, her husband was in a hospital, And she took the book one time and she read a chapter to him about hemp. And she was reading about him because Lo comes from a very large family. She comes from a very large family. The story takes place in New Haven. Her parents are retired from Yale dining hall. BT is from Cambridge, Massachusetts. He has a very small family. But Lo has a big family, and she has a brother Ham. And so my girlfriend was reading the book to her husband, and he said, "Babe, I think I know that guy. I know that guy Ham. Don't he live in Newhallville?" And she said, "No, honey, that guy's made up." So that's what, the characters are so real. And then I also know a young man that read the book, and he said to me, he asked me, he said, "Dawn, what's going on with Sojo? What's Sojo up to?" I said, "Sojo is made up." So when you read the book, it looks threatening because it's really big, but it's not. It's a really easy read. The chapters go so fast. One of my friends, who I sent the book to, my dear friend, since we were in the 6th grade, she lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out to Teresa. And I sent her the book, and she reads nonfiction. She reads nonfiction. She said, when I sent her the book, she said to herself, she was saying to herself, "Self, now why she send me that book? She know I ain't gonna read it." But she said she picked the book up, and she said, "I couldn't put it down." She said the book pulled me. The book pulled me. So that's the kind of book that it is. And we're going to do some a promotional event in August at the house where it started. And we're going to do a tribute to our dear friend Alita. And we're having BT and Low Summer Theater by the Sound. And it's going to be an exciting event where people are going to read the book and see and act it out. It's just going to be phenomenal. So it's long overdue, but we are in the process of really putting this book out there so that everybody can enjoy it. And the audio book is coming soon, because I know there's a lot of people out there who don't want to read, but the audio book is coming soon. So that's BT and Low and Other Love Stories. BT and Low. BT is the lawyer who's from Cambridge. Low is the actress who lives in New Haven, a big family. The parents, their love story just jumped in. William and Ruby, that's Low's parents. Geraldine and Carlton are BT's parents. And it's a great, great read. So those are the things that Nuts About Health we're doing. We're trying to do things to help elevate the mind, help elevate the body, help strengthen the spirit. And we can't do any of this without the spirit. And when it comes to really trying to be the best that we can be physically, we have to bring God into it. So I have a bunch of scriptures here that I look at, but that gluttony one got me. That's in Proverbs. And then there was another one that says, your stomach, your stomach should not be your God. So when I went to the scriptures to find support to help me with my vice, I found some stuff that really made me stand attention. And so I would suggest, if you're struggling with anything, whether it's food, whether it's anger, whether you don't have patience, whatever it is, the good book has all you need. And you just need, if you want to get God to help you, all you got to do is decide what you really want. I want to be trim. I want to be healthy. So I say, okay, Holy Spirit, help me find scriptures that's going to help me with that. And then I got to pray and say, Lord, you said in, what is it? Mark 11:23, you said we can speak to the mountain. The mountain for me is gluttony and obesity. That's a mountain. You got to go. Boy, bye. And then when I pray, I got to believe that I receive it, and then meditate on those scriptures that's going to give me the power and the strength to do that. And then we just got to bind Satan up. I think it's in Matthew 18:18 or Matthew 16:19, but it says, bind, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, or whatever you loose on earth will be loose in heaven. Satan has no power over us. We have to bind him up. And whatever we want, God said, I'll give you the desires of your heart. So if you want health, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be, healthy, wealthy, and wise, I would be all of those. You want to be all those? I want to be all those. Healthy, wealthy, and wise. The book tells us how to do it. And so that's one of the things that we do with Going Nuts About Health. Join us to find out, what you should be eating, find out, how you should be praying if you have something that is really, challenging you. But you're more than a conqueror because, Jesus did it all for us on the cross. He did that. And he said in, I think, John 14:12 through 14, if we believe in him and the works that he does, we can do the same thing. Well, what did he do? He did miracles, he healed people, he fed people. We can do the same thing. We just got to know what the word is. And then he said, our Father will be glorified. And if you ask for anything in my name, it will be done. So, in the name of Jesus, I ask, Lord, to help me with this whole gluttony, this food thing. And whatever I learn, I'm going to share it with you. So, I want to sum it up and tell you Nuts About Health. We're a nonprofit 501c3 based in New Haven, Connecticut. Our mission is to slay the obesity monster and to provide people with the information, the tools, and the strategies to help them on their journey to optimum health, spiritual health, physical health, emotional, mental, social, cultural, and financial health. We have workshops that address all of those areas, every area of our life. And we want to bind Satan up. He has no rule, no power, and no dominion over us. And we focus on the whole family because we're a whole being. We're spirit, soul, and body. And that's the Trinity. If we want to be successful, we have to focus on the whole. So we focus on the whole family, youth, adults, seniors. I forgot the seniors. Yeah, we do the salad dressing for the seniors, and then we do nutrition education with a game called Me and Belinda Gillis, which I ironically started as a childhood obesity game, but I use it as a teaching tool when I go to places like Grandmothers on the Move and teaching grandmothers about how to eat healthy. So those are the three demographics and the programs that we have. We have the puppets, here we go. We got a little puppet here. And we have a puppet show. And we're doing Nutsville the movie. We got a Fat Girl's Journey. And then we got BT and Low, which is just something that makes us feel good. So that's what Nuts About Health is all about. And I thank you for joining me. I hope that I gave you some information that can help you on your journey to health and wellness. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you the next time on Going Nuts About Health.